Hi everyone, it's Diane. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay, we're gonna jump right in today because I have so much to do. Like you, as crafters, sometimes I have to decide, it weighs both sides, what I should be working on and what I want to be working on. What I want to be working on is up here making cards with you in my craft room and having fun. What I should be doing is cleaning my house and getting ready for Thanksgiving. So I did work on that a little bit this morning and took a break so I could come up here and get a card done because I know I didn't get one last week. Yeah, so I hope you're all doing well. We're pretty good here. We are up this week in our Stamping A to Z project in the bees to blended seasons, which comes in kind of handy because I wanted to try to get a Christmas card done. I have my little flickering glare going on there. Yeah, so what I wanted to really share with you was these were my Thanksgiving cards that I sent to my family. I wanted to share how I did this real quick, but it's not going to work for the card that I'm going to make today. So I needed a bunch of flowers to put on these cards. Now I don't have enough light. And I really didn't want to take the time to color every flower in. I really don't have that time right now. You know, holidays. So, what I did was, and I was going to try to do that today for blended seasons and use this holly stamp that is in the stamp set. But I wasn't really liking it, so we're not going to do that. But I took just a piece of white cardstock and my blending brushes, and I blended various shades of green on here. I think I used Soft Succulent, Evening Evergreen, and I think it was Shaded Spruce. Threw some water splatters on there, let it set for a minute, used a paper towel to dry it off so that I could get my little distress spots on there. And this is Stampin' Up! Ink that I'm using. Yes, it works too, just like Tim Holtz ink. You can make the little spotters. Then I used VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink because I like the crisp black that this stamps in. And on my other sunflowers, I did 2 sheets, 8.5 by 11, and different shades of oranges and yellows. Stamped the sunflowers all over it, and then die cut them. It worked out great. This set doesn't have dies for the holly. Look at all that ink I got on me. But what it does, and what I wanted to share with you, is if you do have a die, a lot of times it makes those little white edges around your image that you have die cut. And putting the white under there really made that flicker. Sorry. But if you can see by doing that on the paper, and I'll show you the sunflower too, you don't have that white border. And for the sunflowers, I used a green, I used a marker. I used a green marker and did my leaves. And I think it was Daffodil Delight marker, and just went around the center a little bit to darken it up after I had done it. But I don't have those white edges, and I really like that. So I just wanted to share that tip with you. If you have a set that you're going to use and you have a die for it, I was doing my little berries in gold, which we're going to do anyway. I'm just not going to use that particular method today. I am using Garden Green cardstock, and this paper is from, I am still trying to work out, this time change has messed me up in every way imaginable. I can't remember to give my dog her pills. I get tired. Poinsettia Palace Designer Series paper. And this is a pattern that really I use the other side more than I use this green side. So I thought this would be a good way to use that today. So this is cut to 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. Part of this suite back in the day also had some Stitched Season Framelits. And this is what I grabbed because I was hoping that it had the holly. Oh, don't tell me it does. No. But it did have these cool frames that we can stamp inside. So that's what we're going to do. And then we'll just use some alcohol markers to color in. Oh, that one that we're going to use. Duh. Sam, I'm missing one. Yes, you are. We're going to use some alcohol markers and color in our holly. And then I will use my little gold pen for those little things. And then we have some red elements to use as berries. This die set also had a bow. So, while I'm doing this, oh, don't let me lose my voice, good Lord. I found, what did I have over here? It was Gold Shimmer Vellum. Sorry for the crinkle. So you could use any kind of metallic or shimmer paper or whatever. I only have a little bit of this left, and I thought that would be pretty to cut a bow out of. I did that already just to save a minute. Yep, because in addition to all this, I am trying to get the cards cut and ready for card class, which is the Monday after Thanksgiving. That might not have been the best timing on my part. Okay, so here's my bow. And I did kind of lay this on here so I could see if this was going to fit. Oh, and I used that one that I was playing with to see how it would work. I was going to put my bow up here and stamp from this set Merry Christmas, because I like that font. Those leaves are beautiful too. Pretty stuff on this one. Excuse me. Honestly, not one that I can say that I did use a lot. Obviously, this one, shame on me. Excuse me. I'll have to try and use that flower. But I need Christmas done now, so we're going to do that. And I was going to cut this out ahead of time, but I thought about the time I did that, I would really stamp my images crooked. Excuse me again. So let's take our holly leaves and I think I want to try no. I'm just going to stamp in the garden green. I was going to use that other one. Oh, that was screechy. So what are y'all working on? Everybody getting ready for Christmas cards and holidays? Do you send out Thanksgiving cards to anybody? I mean, I do for my, I don't have a huge family, but I do have 4 siblings and my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, and, you know, make one for my kids, things like that. It's enough. But I was really happy with how those turned out. Those were a honeybee set. And yes, I'm out of room. If you could see my desk. So I want this on the top, kind of like a garland over my greeting. I think I have that honeybee set still out here. I'll show it to you. And then I don't have garden green blends or alcohol markers, so I'm going to use Old Olive because that kind of matches pretty well. And it's also one of the coordinating greens that's listed on the paper, so I know it's going to go together. Oh, I'll tell you another reason I really can't get up here and do this stuff in the mornings. I've been having some horrible time with my hands. The arthritis in my fingers is so ridiculous. I don't know what's going on. My husband and I are both struggling through some of the same things here at the same time. And I am just a little older than he is, but he had his accident because we're trying to think of, what do we have going on here that we're both being so achy and, like my hands aren't working. And it's like, well, it's not our age because we're not really the same age. And I can't imagine that we're aging at the same time like that. I'm going to use my dark old olive towards the base and underneath where other leaves are on top of, or berries are on top of the leaf. And we're certainly not both aching because of his fall, because I did not fall. The only thing that we have in common is that we had those initial COVID vaccines at the same time. We're very close to each other. And we're kind of wondering if that is causing us some joint pain. So, I don't know. I used to drink and I quit it because it's so expensive. Tart cherry juice. It's supposed to be a natural anti-inflammatory. And I think it does help me. I just can't afford to drink it like that because it's expensive. And then we'll fill in with some light old olive. I'm gonna try not to go out of the lines too much because remember, we don't have dies for this. We're just going to make this into the front panel of our card. Oh, yeah, so talking about my hands, poor doggy. I've talked to you about our 15-year-old, and she's doing really well after her surgery. She's coming along really nice. She's even walking a little bit better now. Took her a little longer to recover, but at her age, I would expect that. So my son's one dog that I dog sit while he's at work had a lump on his foot. I don't know if I had shared that with you or not. So he had taken him to the vet, and Judd, who is deaf, had been taking, some anti-inflammatory medicine, antibiotics, some steroids and stuff, and they're trying to get that lump to go away, which it did not do. And so last week, poor Judd had surgery to remove that lump. It happened to be a tumor that went into his foot, and the poor guy had to have his one toe amputated. So, and he's doing okay. He is, but because he is deaf, if he goes to lick at his foot or anything, it's not like you can say, don't do that, don't lick your boo-boo. You have to get up every time and go over and tap him on the head and tell him, no, don't do that. And then he stops. He's being really good about it. But last week was pretty much under constant supervision because we really didn't want him to get at it and cause damage. All right, so, okay. Then I'm going to use, and I'm doing this ahead of time because I'm afraid that if I cut this out and stamp it, like I said, I'll get it really crooked. I guess I could do my greeting and we could cut this out and then finish because I want to put my little berries and stuff on there. So I need to position where my Merry Christmas is going to go. I should use my Stamparatus. or if you have a Misty or whatever stamp positioning tool you prefer. I like my Stamparatus though. I do forget about it. Shame, shame on me, because it is so handy for stuff like this. All right, so if I put my card panel in my base here, and let's just layer this on here. Yep, which is going to be a little tough with all the magnets. Just stay there for a minute, okay? Just for a minute. Thanks. I was holding my breath. I can hit the camera. That was a close one. Okay. Now. Oh, I am hitting the camera. Sorry about that. Let's do this, I suppose, in garden green as well. No sense introducing another color, another shade of green. I guess I could have moved it a little to the left. That's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Oh. That away. And get my die cutting big shot here. And try to line my frame up on here kind of straight. So other than that, all excitement with pets and everything, it's just being the normal hectic life, you know, the everyday stuff. Oh, I don't have a whole lot of even fun stories to tell. Oh, drop there. Aww. Should I have used the smaller one? Is that too much white around that, do you think? Let's see what it looks like. Oh, maybe. Yeah, maybe. Well, see the handy dandiness of starting out with the bigger one? We'll just cut it down. No harm, no foul. All good. Yep, so up next, working on, like I said, the ladies' cards, and then I have got to start my Christmas cards. I'll never get them done. Unfortunately, I don't have quite as many to do this year. Our family is getting smaller. That looks better. Yeah, that was a little too much white. Okie dokie. Oh, I should have kept that, huh? No, that's a little crooked. I was going to say that would have made a good frame, but I didn't cut it exactly in the center, so. All right. Let's get this stuff finished up. So we're going to put this on here. going to use a gold pen. This is just a Jelly Roll pen, and I have them in various colors. But I do want to use gold because my bow is gold. And of course you can put whatever personal stamped message you want on the inside. I say, where did my little bow go? It's so tiny, I almost lost it. It's a little quieter here today. We had, be careful with that ink. Last week they were still cutting. How am I going to put that? It would have been prettier on a background, huh? They were still cutting trees down around here, and so it was like Chainsaw City. Well, if I do that, then prettier with a green background. Then we have to cut around it. I guess we could take a minute and do that. It shouldn't take too long. Let's just use a piece of green scrap. Yeah, I think I would like that to be a border around it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So. And then we had, our neighbor had asked if would mind if they had a couple of their trees that were getting cut down fall in our yard. Well, no, I mean, but we said hubby couldn't clean that all up himself this year. Normally he would, but we weren't going to be able to have him do that. And I'll help him with whatever he needs help on, but we ain't spring chickens anymore. Let's put it that way. So they had the trees cut, and we had a couple back by the woods cut down, some of the bigger ones. And then we're actually planning on putting in some smaller trees. Some of these big ones that, I mean, we've been out here for 40 years, so they're gigundo. And they've done some damage to property with all the storms and that we've had. So I think that's why a lot of people are like, yes, go ahead, take the trees down. And then we already had replanted 3 out front. One of them's actually getting so big we might have to replace it. I don't know. It's pretty big. So anyways, we had ours cut then too. And so my son, a friend of his, came over and helped over the weekend, and they got all the branches chipped and shredded and pretty much all cleaned up. So my husband didn't have to worry about that so much. Can't leave that stuff sit. I could leave it sit for a week or two and work on it a little bit at a time, but he's not quite that patient. That many of you have partners that are like that. Got to be done right now. Yep. I just think if I would have left this ribbon open, it wouldn't have been very noticeable. I gotta bring this back by myself for a minute here. I cannot see. I am so sorry. I can keep trying to do that right up there under the camera and take an extra 20 minutes. Or I could get it over here where I could see what I'm doing and hopefully get it done in some reasonable time. Boy, this is why I didn't want to do that blended background, because I didn't have dies. Now here I am with a die and I'm still making myself fussy cut. What a goofball, right? Try to make it easier and I still make myself more work. Oh, well, you know, if you're not happy with it now, you're not going to be happy with it later, so fix her up now. Watch, I'll get done and decide I don't like it like this. Oh my goodness, I am the worst at this. I am not a fussy cutter. Don't like it. Oh yeah, that was the other thing I was doing, speaking of fussy cutting. I did finish my Sherlock Holmes journal in time to take to the Christmas market next weekend, I should say. So wish me luck on selling those little journals that I managed to get done. I think I have 5 over there that are ready to go. I'll tell you, I don't know how some of those ladies that, well, I don't know. I think I make more work for myself in the meantime. You know, I made some Christmas gifts. And I'm still working on my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery Volume 4 project. And Crafty Cat USA has a 50 stack challenge that I actually had to set aside for a little bit. I am going to finish it, but I had to set it aside for a while. And I was using her prompts and making a tag book. So, let's see. See what I mean? I might like it. I don't know, though. When I put the background on there, I think I need the green. Okay. Problem solved, I guess. Or question answered, whichever you want to think of it as. So, as I said, I create my own headache, I guess. I can't help it though. My mind won't quit. I'll go to bed at night and I'll think, oh, they're having a women's breakfast coming up at church and you can host a table. And I'm thinking, I think I want to host a table this year. And then my mind starts. How will I set the table? What will I use as favors? And before I know it, I have this whole event planned in my head and I haven't even turned in, you know, that I want to host a table. So, where did I put my, I need more dimensionals, more foam. But I promised myself today if I at least got one card ready for card class, and I did. I have one ready. I just have to cut out the paper for all the ladies that are coming. But I have it designed and I'm happy with it. So, yay, one thing done. I have all the one little Christmas gifts that I was making. I think I'm only making more of those because my hands have been so sore that sewing has been, I keep setting it aside. Put there, up here I think. Up there I think. So I need to put my holly berries on there. So for holly berries, I just pulled out various red dots. That might work. kind of think these ones from, those are Cherry Cobbler. Matte Decorative Dots. And I have those, but they're a little bit brighter. And I'm not going to go through my bits and pieces bag to look because there's too many. We'll go with these. I think these were from the Pets, the Christmas Pet Suite. I can't remember the name. Playful Pets, maybe? Might have been it. Come on. Oh yeah, I like that. The Cherry Cobbler's pretty with that. Okay. And these were sort of ombre color in this pack. So there are some varying shades of red here. Cute. Told you I wasn't going to be sure. I'm thinking. We look at it on the camera on my computer screen. Stay up there for a minute. Okay. Okay. Hold that there for a second and let it grab the paper. Yay. And that's my first Christmas card of this year. How about that? This would be so easy to do for any of those occasions on Blended Seasons. Look, there's I miss you, congratulations, Merry Christmas. I like the fall leaves. I really do like that flower. I'll have to try that. So there we are, you guys. I'm so happy that you stopped by to make a card with me. And remember to go out there and send your cards to some people and make them smile, make them happy that you were thinking of them. Everyone loves to get some happy mail. And until the next time, have a great week. Thanks, everybody. Bye.